So obviously they're lying to you on many different levels. Why? Well, to keep you afraid. We had a conversation with one of the smartest people we've ever met or ever talked to. His name is Gavin DeBecker. He's a world-renowned security professional, worked at the Reagan White House. He's also an incredibly deep and thoughtful person. We just talked to him for a brand new episode of Tucker Carlson Today. Here's part of it.
In these last 3 years, we were told, stay in your house and don't go outside. Don't go to work. Don't see your family on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Even divorced parents couldn't transfer the kids between households because that would be two households getting together. I mean, the madness of this science fiction movie, given the fact that people love freedom so much, is a really interesting thing for us to reflect on as a society. How did we do that? How did we have that Constitution that when we got away from the British, we basically said to the king, you can't come in my house without permission? Well, a normal king would say, I beg your pardon, you're my subject. That's my house you're talking about. But America took this different approach and wrote this extraordinary document, and others, the Constitution being one of them. And I think if you look at world history, which is what I tend to do when I look at human behavior, you have a pie chart. Almost all of that pie chart is tyranny as a leadership strategy for human beings. And only this tiny, tiny sliver is the United States and Western Europe and Australia and New Zealand back in the day that really focused on the freedom of the individual and that built a whole society around that. We must never assume that's going to last. Because again, pie chart, all tyranny. Just this tiny sliver. Tyranny is actually the more normal way for human leadership to work. Leadership's not even the right word. Domination. That is the more normal way. And so in my work, the looking at predicting human behavior, I looked at this right at the beginning, these lockdowns, for example, and I said, all right, we're being asked to fear something, so let me study what it is that we're being asked to fear, because fear is a control mechanism. Sometimes it's true. At the beginning of the pandemic, I'm like everybody else. We only knew two metrics. Over 60, die. That's all we knew about COVID. That's all we were told. So I'm like everybody else. Oh, wash off the deliveries coming into the house. Yes. Oh, you can touch the pizza box, but you can't touch. Oh, you can touch the pizza, but you can't touch the box. You got to wipe it. All the madness that went on. But I only had that information. Was it worth stopping the planet Earth for? It wasn't. Turns out it wasn't. Did people die from COVID? Absolutely. Did fit, healthy young people die from COVID? No. Didn't happen. Very, very rare, and usually with kids who were hospitalized for other things. So I looked at that, and bring it back to the point you were raising about fear and prediction. Governments throughout human history use fear to control their citizens.
Gavin DeBecker. Remember that name. You can stream that conversation right now on Fox Nation.